the levels change, but the pressure changes as well. So I think there's always going to be pressure.
I don't know, bro, because I think that the higher you get pressures like from different angles.
But that's one of the ways how to handle pressure, right? Like, how do successful people handle pressure? Number one is you gotta begin to organize yourself.
Like, you see, for me, I've always gone under the model where I say, you know what, whatever I can't handle, I'm gonna let it go above me.
Yo.
What up?
Sir,
What's going
back.
on?
Okay.
We are back,
Back,
guys.
baby.
What's good? Yo, Jay, what's up?
Another
I
Another
didn't
day,
hear
another
you, bro.
dollar, bro. What? I'm just mellow.
I thought you
I'm
wasn't
mellow.
supposed
I'm
to
mellow
wear
today,
black.
bro.
I think we're
Why not?
saying
No,
another
no,
week.
because of the background.
Oh, Jay's not supposed
Oh,
to
now
wear
you're
it.
trying to
Jay,
crack
yeah,
jokes.
Jay,
huh?
I'm just-
You're trying to
Yo,
crack
that's
jokes.
Jay's dollar, Bobby. So you
This guy, bro,
You
comes
gotta
over here with a
chill.
damn blazer thinking he's the man. Trying
Yo,
to
how-
order people.
How long did it take for the blazer joke to
I was
come?
waiting on it.
Not even a minute into the show, we're already talking about.
Well,
the Blazers.
because, since you have the blazer, you get the honor today to kick us off, brother. So,
There you go.
Josh Reyes.
it's pressure, man.
That's exactly what it's about, right?
It's the pressure.
That's what we're talking about today. Pressure.
There you go.
Yo, so it looks like they say Drake was under a lot of pressure because they say the album is trash, Jay.
That's funny because when I think about pressure, bro, that's when diamonds are made. So I don't know, man. My opinion on his album, I like it.
You do?
Yeah,
All
bro.
right.
Because the thing about it is people expect you to do certain things
Mhm.
to their like. But when you're at that Billy level like Drake, you got to set different
All right, so
standards,
let's start
right?
there. So let's start there. You're successful, right?
Mhm.
Does pressure go building the more successful you become, or like when you're, because like look at it this way, like let's say if you're trying to make it, right, and you're an entrepreneur or you're new at a job, right, you're trying to shine.
Yeah.
There's no expectations, right? So to me, pressure is built by what's expected of yourself or of others.
I'm gonna reverse engineer that thought,
Wait,
right?
You know,
I believe
reverse
yeah,
engineer or
yeah,
reverse
'cause-
psychology.
Because
No, but
there's
just-
also
just-
internal pressure and external pressure.
Exactly.
So which one, if any, do we want to?
Well, there's also peer pressure.
So,
like we're
yeah,
gonna
like-
get into
yeah,
everything, but
to Ray's point in the beginning is more internal pressure.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
like,
On
I
your
need-
way up,
I feel
it's
like
all
Dre.
inter-
I feel like
it's all
Dr. Dre
internal.
has so much pressure in trying to make a better album than The Chronic, and that's the reason as to why he never came up with nothing else.
well,
right?
no, I mean Dre's
Now,
making
so-
money on
no,
the back
but-
end now, so it's different.
I get it, right? But it's like I think that there were so many like rumors. Oh, Drake coming out with Chronic too, but never came out.
All right, so
Right,
so
so that could have been like his own internal pressure. That could be like an example of his own. You know what? My bar was
so you're
so
saying
high.
so you're saying the more successful you are, the more pressure you feel.
I feel that, yeah, bro. Like I feel like when you reach certain heights,
So you get a lot of pressure now.
I
or
think
you
you're
get
like,
a little-
bro, right now.
I think the pressure's changed though, because if like when you were talking about when you're first starting off and you're trying to like build yourself up and you're trying to get yourself out of
Yo,
like, let's say
by the way,
rut.
shout out to my Yeti Connect. You know who it is.
So when you're trying to get
I hate the
yourself
fact
out,
that I got a blazer on. I feel so uncomfortable.
Now you got to wear it for the whole episode.
the whole episode.
so
Yo, Jelly's talking.
yeah,
bro.
exactly.
I'm sorry.
What the fuck?
It's the pressure.
For real, don't play. So when you're trying to get yourself out of a rut and you have that internal pressure that you pull out of it, right? Then things change because like you might have put yourself in a better situation. You're like, okay, now I'm privy to different types of environments that, oh shit, now I got to make sure that let me try to let's say I need to know about this now because I already came out of that cave. So let me go look at what's over here. Let me go what's over there. And then you start realizing, oh, I don't have the knowledge. I don't have the experience that's on that avenue because I didn't have, obviously from the beginning, you wasn't exposed to those
All
situations.
right, question on what you said. All right, Josh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, as you increase in social like status, the levels are gonna change, right? So the levels change, but the pressure changes as well. So I think there's always gonna be pressure, but on your way up, the pressure is very different because it's more internal than external pressure.
All right, so let me ask you this.
I don't know, bro, because I think that the higher you get pressures like from different angles. Like,
But that's exactly what I said.
no, that's not what you're saying.
No,
you said the
I'm not
pressure's
saying-
more
I'm not
internally. I feel
saying-
like the higher you get, the pressure's more externally than internally.
Okay.
Because, for instance, like if you're a successful artist, right, and you sign to a record deal, and you feel like, yo, I don't want to make music. I'm not in that space right now. That pressure is there for you to deliver that album, right?
So let me ask you this. Let's say someone who Okay, so let me put the question this way: do only successful people feel pressure?
No.
All right.
I
Okay.
could be a bum with pressure.
All right, but why is the bum a bum if he doesn't feel pressure? Like let's say I get a job,
Mhm.
right? And I could give two shits about the job, right? Like
I got the pressure
I don't
waking
care
up.
if I'm late. I don't care if I leave early. I don't care if they write me up. Like there's no pressure because I don't care. I could get fired, whatever it is. I'll go and do it in the next job.
Okay.
Now, if I get a job at McDonald's, right? Shout out to McDonald's, where a lot of people started working at
That was
McDonald's.
my first employer, by the way.
So
Big shout out.
so let's say you start working at McDonald's, but you take that seriously. You put the pressure on yourself, right?
Gotta give props.
No, you wake up early. You're there.
Waking up is pressure.
Well, but that's what I'm saying.
Well, I guess the question is, does everyone feel pressure, right? Because I don't think everyone feels pressure. And
At any point,
I think that there's just people that just don't care about anything enough where it impacts them in any way.
and can
where they
those
feel
people be
pressure.
successful?
Well, that's different.
Oh, I'm asking.
Oh,
I think that pressure comes on all levels, bro. Like if you're in school, just taking an SAT is pressure, right? Like just having to take your midterms.
Yeah, but it
yo,
may be
it's a-
pressure.
it's
It
just
may be
different.
You
pressure
said
to
it.
you, but not to me.
Yeah, but
so
for
that's
some-
more like an internal pressure.
So
I feel like
but that's what I'm saying. Like, depending on where you are, what you're trying to do,
Mhm.
there's pressures that come from different places. Sometimes it's more internal than external, or vice versa. Right.
It
There's
also
the pressure to succeed.
it also deals with how you cope with the pressure too.
Yeah. Because some people also
We're gonna
react
get into
very
coping. I
differently.
think that's
some
a
people
huge
react
conversation.
very differently to pressure as well.
Okay.
But
So-
there are people that just don't care at all, where the pressure, even though there's external pressures coming, they just don't care enough to where they let it impact them.
All right. So how does being prepared or like pre-planning, how does that affect pressure?
that's a good question. But before you even go there, I wanted to ask: is there a correlation between risk and pressure? Do you guys think that it goes like risk and pressure go together?
think there has to be.
I think
They
yeah,
they have to
absolutely.
go together,
I
right?
would-
Because if you
I
don't
would
take
say
risks,
so,
there would be no pressure. Pretty much. Now, ask that question again. No, seriously though.
In terms of planning.
Yeah. So like
Planning.
right. Does planning take the pressure away?
Planning.
Because I feel like sometimes a lot like
Look,
I'm just saying, like sometimes sometimes I'm not prepared for a meeting, for example.
Mm.
I feel more pressure because I'm like, damn, I'm not prepared for a meeting.
Mm.
And you're like, you're scrambling to get
Or
prepared.
Quote
for something.
unquote, Josh wasn't prepared for today's pressure, but he came with a
He came
with a
with
blazer.
a-
He came well prepared. He served the optics.
That's half the bottle.
Let
That's
me-
half the
let
battle.
me-
let me speak from my experience, because back in the day,
Please do speak
I
from
was
your
I was a
experience,
musician, right? And I performed, right? The first gigs that I had, the band and myself, we practiced hard, and yes, we had the music down, but when it came time to perform,
Mhm.
the pressure was real. And I'm talking about like hands are jittery,
Yeah.
and like you're walking onto the stage and you feel like your legs gonna fall off.
Is that pressure or nerves?
Both.
But you see,
Both.
now we got to go down this rabbit
Both.
hole. Pressure
Both.
or nerves, though?
Cause
I don't think that's pressure.
I think that there's a level of
There's a-
pressure
there
to
is a little
actually
pressure,
be
'cause it's like-
successful at that event,
right.
right? But I guess the nerves kind of kick in the introductory part of that performance, like
yeah,
at the
because like
beginning of
sometimes
it.
even in meetings, like if you're not prepared for meetings, then the pressure's gonna lead into nerves.
Well, I guess
You know what I mean?
that's how it is reflected.
But
So-
also preparedness for for
preparation.
whatever it is, preparation
Exactly.
does
So
help
relief.
alleviate it, but it doesn't totally relieve it. Like I think there's still gonna be some pressure to find success in whatever it
All
is.
right, so let's take it more to the corporate level or to work or
Mhm.
whatever, right? So management requests, there's a task at hand, right? They give you an unrealistic deadline,
Mhm.
right?
Oh,
and you
surprise.
know,
oh, surprise,
Right.
surprise.
no matter what, like you're like, it's impossible for me to get it done. But more times than not, people find a way to get it done, right? So how does that
Hopefully,
Well, could that be a tactic? So I want to get to this. Should we embrace pressure? Like, how should we look at and view pressure, and how could we use it to our advantage? So if I'm pressuring you, and probably more times than not, like I know the deadline is unrealistic, right? But I'm gonna tell you because I could say, if I get it a few days later, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I know I'm gonna have this person focus on this
Yeah.
task for for the foreseeable future, right?
Mhm.
But then that's probably me using it as a tactic. Now, me receiving it, right?
Yeah.
At what point do I draw the line, or how do I mitigate the pressure by there's a lot of ways to mitigate pressure, but how do you take it and use it in a positive direction?
I think that when it comes down to pressure, on the corporate level, you start looking at like who your performers are, right? And I think that you're able to identify how well that person works under specific guidelines, like those timelines. And sometimes you will have that individual that is like a go getter. Like, all right, you're gonna give me this task, I'm gonna go and execute it immediately, right? Now, but you have those other people that kind of like they take their sweet time and they wait till the last minute and they just crack. They don't just really give the expected delivery.
So is having pressure on those people that procrastinate, does that then eventually get them to perform better?
Not necessarily.
I think sometimes, right? Because I mean, you have some folks, right, where they require pressure, or you notice, right?
Like some people say, I work better under pressure.
Yeah, some people need the pressure in order to complete a task, or to get to the next level, or to find success in whatever it is that they're doing. Other folks require much less like pressure or pushing in order for you to get them to complete the task that you need.
But sometimes also it could be looked like a way of you have like that pushy type of management setting.
Yeah, but
in which
I
people
think
like back off a little bit. Like I don't
But
like
to
that
our-
level of pressure. Like for instance, right? Like we come from from a healthcare sales background. Some people that there was a time and place in which they were offering like these higher salaries for people who were higher performers, right? And it was ironic to me that I would come up and say, listen, there's opportunity right here. You're already producing at that level, and you could make an additional X amount of dollars. And they're like, oh no, I don't want that level of pressure. I'm like, but that's all mental because you're already doing it,
yeah.
right? But it's kind of like I think it was more of that commitment that person didn't really want to get to that level. And the way that my job was making sure that they can understand, like, look, if you just continue to do everything that you're doing and nothing changes, you're just gonna make more money.
But it's psychological.
Yeah, it's more of a psychological aspect of it.
I think Ray's question was more to you, not as to your team or to people that you're helping develop.
All right.
Like how do you handle the pressure? Like what works for you in your case?
I don't know, bro. I work well under pressure. Like I'm the person that I always put timelines on myself. I always put like goals and objectives, and like I review them, and I look back and see, all right, what did I did? Like,
Do your goals are your goals? Do they have a times, like a deadline?
I try to.
All
do.
right, so let's say the deadline's approaching. And
Well, I start early. Like even when
let's say the deadline's approaching, whatever. Regardless, you started early, and you haven't. You're like 50% into that task.
it's
Well, how do you feel?
see. So sometimes this is a great question because sometimes I feel like I'm always trying. I'm going to be my biggest critic, right? When it comes down to performance, and I don't want to set up an expectation. Like I don't want to set up a goal that's unrealistic, but I also don't want to set up a goal that's going to be easy for me to get, right? So I'm trying to
Right.
find somewhere in the middle. And the way that I look at it is like, all right, if I could just do 10% more than that. Like that's the way I do it.
Well, so-
if I don't get to 10%, but at least I got over that 100.
All right,
I got to like 103, 105%. I feel good
So
about
let
myself.
me ask you guys this then. Do you feel that an environment of pressure, even if it's internal or external, does that make you more effective? Like does it help you achieve more?
To me, it does.
I think
I'm honest.
it also depends on your personality. Some people need it, like we talked about earlier, right? Like for me personally, sometimes having that pressure is also kind of like what gets
Wakes
me
you up,
going,
right?
wakes me up, motivates me.
Right.
For some people, I mean, right, like they say, pressure makes
Cracks.
diamonds or cracks pipes,
Right.
buffs pipes, right?
Right.
So
Pause.
for some people, they uh, for some people, I definitely think that you can see it on them, right? So like I'll go back to like when we were working, together in management. I've interviewed people where they were just so nervous about like the questions that were being asked, and okay, you could want to call it pressure, nerves, whatever. I've actually seen people like break out in hives,
Yep.
like because they were so nervous and they just couldn't take it.
Yo, who
And
was
I'm
that,
like-
by the way?
I'm not getting into that. But
Jonathan, when he didn't get the job.
it was
Was that a snowstorm
like,
day?
you see it, like you see it, where like some people just can't handle it. I'm like, man, if you can't handle just this conversation, then how are you gonna handle the task that we're gonna have for you?
Yeah, but you see that
it's
I
a
know
little
where you're
different though.
gonna
Yeah,
go.
right.
Because I've had those types of like interviews where
Some people just
like,
interview
some people are,
horribly.
So- yeah,
are bad at interviewing,
no,
and
you're
it
right.
might be the
Yeah.
difference in language, and like it doesn't necessarily mean that they're not going to be successful at the task that you're trying to employ them
Yeah.
for. Like you see, for me, I've always gone under the model where I say, you know what, whatever I can handle, I'm gonna let it go above me.
Yeah.
Now let me focus and prioritize on things that I can take
Bingo.
and accomplish.
So that's
Does
one
pressure
of the
mean
ways.
stress?
Well, pressure can cause stress, but that's one of the ways how to handle pressure,
Mhm.
right? Like how do successful people handle pressure? Number one is you gotta begin to organize yourself.
Yeah, correct.
I think
Right?
getting organized is
Because if
important,
you get
yeah.
organized, then you're able to. Everybody knows blue chips and like, well, here are my priorities,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So sometimes I think when you're disorganized, you start
One task.
pressure starts building up because you're not efficiently completing whatever tasks
Mhm.
you should be completing,
Agreed.
right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like I can if I'm organized and I take a step back and I say, all right, look, this I know is not a priority, right?
Yeah.
This is. So instead of me stressing on how to juggle two things at the same time, let me just leave this be, right? Like you just said, let me go, let it go over my head, and then let me just hyper focus on this, right?
Yeah.
Which I think it's a bad delivery, or the messenger is probably to blame when somebody gives you a short deadline.
Mhm.
But I think another way of probably looking at that is like, hey guys, drop everything, focus just on this, right? So you give that more importance.
I suck at multitasking. Like I can't, like, bro, sometimes I can't even speak and text at the same time because whatever I'm thinking about saying to the person, I'm putting it in my text.
Oh, I've
And
done
then when I
that.
send it out,
Yeah.
like, what the hell is this? That's not, how do I unsend this? Like,
I forget-
that's the worst.
That shit happened to me the other day. I was texting somebody and I don't know what I was saying, but
Like,
it
what?
was somebody like I text them. I go, oh, thanks, bro. But I was thinking like I was talking to one of you guys and it was like somebody I shouldn't be saying bro to. It was like a woman and I was
That
like,
was your
oh,
wife.
Thank
bro?
God, no, my wife.
Bro.
No,
Yeah.
but bro, thank God now you can edit the messages. So I was like, oh,
That is
thank
a
you.
Yo, that-
lifesaver. Being
that-
able to like edit the text messages shortly after you send them is a huge lifesaver for me. I mean, especially I have a small phone. I'm fat fingers. Always mistyping.
You need to get
Bro.
Jelly's fucking
Little mini iPad over there.
4K LED.
Nah, man.
telling you, man.
I'm good, bro.
Step up
I'm
the
good.
game, guys. Step up
Yo,
the
when
game.
you told me that phone was like 2 G's, bro, I said, hell no. I'm still with my iPhone 4.
So you feeling no pressure?
May I ask, I want to ask
Of course.
Sure.
Can you please speak, each of you, can you speak one advice, really good advice
Mhm.
for you that you use personally?
How to handle pressure?
Forget
On how to handle pressure?
no, for this. Forget success under pressure.
Success
Oh,
under
so
pressure.
how do you succeed under
I
pressure?
would
Josh,
say
go.
number one is kind of organizing the tasks and just being organized. Real quick, simple. Getting organized.
That's same for me. Just knowing what I needed to accomplish and just making sure that whatever I'm doing is not taken away from that task. Just like prioritize what the job that I need to do. Make sure it's aligned.
Do I need to say anything else? You guys pretty much summed
I
it
like,
up.
no, that's not what I mean. I like pressure. Like I like feeling like I have a bunch of things, even though sometimes like shit
Yeah.
slips through the crack,
You think?
right? But I also like the feeling of like, yo, I got this, I got that, I got this, I got that. Because
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like if I have nothing pending or going on, it's like,
I feel lost.
What am I
Like,
doing?
yeah, like am I
What am I
being
doing?
like, am I being productive?
It's,
like
it's crazy because I've been, especially lately, I've been telling people, I'm like, I need like 6 more hours in a day. And I know how to get those 6 hours. It's just, am I willing to make the sacrifice?
It's
to
so
get
funny,
those 6
bro.
hours,
It's so funny,
right?
very ironic that you mentioned this. So the other day I was having a conversation with my wife, and she's like, "Oh, I need you to be a little bit more committed to the household, the same way that you're committed to the
Work.
business."
that sounds like a different conversation, Jay.
And no, but wait.
Be
But
careful what you
wait.
say.
But wait.
This is all being recorded.
No, that's perfectly fine. It is all good. So I said, you know what? You're absolutely right. I feel like last year I had a different approach. I I was journaling everything that I was doing by the hour,
Oh,
right?
bro, you
So it
guys
was
are on fire.
When
So
it
that's
came down to
another
like
way
time management,
to mitigate pressure.
and I feel like I was gonna get there, and I said to her, you know what?
I think you stumbled upon that
starting
shit, bro.
starting October 1st, I'm going
You're gonna journal.
to journal everything that I do
Yo,
by the
Jay,
hour.
that's
So
fast
now
already.
everything that I do as soon as I get home,
Yo,
you're gonna
Jay.
see this. So when you just say, "Oh, you didn't do this," I'm gonna pull up a whole list. This is what I
There
did.
you
No,
go.
but that's not journaling.
And I've only been here.
Yo, Jay, read your last journal entry.
Yeah.
Come on,
Come
bro.
on.
I wanna
The
hear it.
last one.
Yeah.
All right. As of today,
As of
No,
yeah,
I-
last-
I-
that was
I said
my
yesterday.
last one, right?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
my last one.
your
so
last
what-
one. You don't gotta read it. You know what it is.
I know.
I want to see how
you.
you talk to yourself. Pause.
Oh God.
Yo, you're crazy, bro. All right, cool. So basically, I got in by 9:00.
All right, so what'd you say?
So you tell yourself-
So you said like,
We
oh,
got-
No.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
time. I just time.
Said
So let me hold on. I'm gonna
Ah, you know what? Never mind, bro. I ain't telling y'all what the hell.
Fed the muni meter.
There's a voiceover. Jay is like, "Hey, journal, pulling up to my driveway right now, thinking about what I'm gonna say when I walk in."
I don't even got that much. I'm like, yo,
My
this is
bad,
what it
bro.
did.
Read it.
Nah, I'm
the
not reading
people
it.
want to know.
They wanna know.
Man.
They want to
Come on,
know,
bro. The
Jay.
people wanna
Listen,
know.
you want to do something good in life, just track every single minute of your day. If you can't track every minute, at least track every hour.
That's obsessive, bro.
Damn.
If you track every hour, at least you're able to identify. Because I'm a visual person I'm a visual learner. Like for me, I have to see things, right? Like, and if I'm able to see where I'm spending the majority of my time, and if I'm seeing that what I'm spending most of my time is not getting me what I need to get done. All right, so
You
it's just
adjust.
let me just adjust this, right?
Mhm.
I'm always on the road, right? So you guys know, like, so sometimes my commute is 2 hours, sometimes it's an hour and a half or whatever. But within that time frame, what I try to do is get into the calls. All right.
Catch up on calls.
Yeah.
Catch up
Yo,
on
Jay,
calls.
that-
right?
that's
So
that's
the
all
stories.
great.
that.
That's all great. But don't read your journal, bro.
I'm not reading it,
Come
bro.
on, just the last.
No, I'm
entry,
not, bro.
Just do it.
No.
Did we answer your question?
My last entry was
Did we at least answer your question to give you some points? Yeah.
Your point is, your advice is organize,
He stole
Get
that.
organized, yeah.
Get organized.
prioritize,
Prioritize and organize.
track the time
Every second, apparently.
every
apparently.
second.
That has to do with
I said
being
at least an
organized.
hour.
And I just missing one.
No.
Just get more pressure. That's
More pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's like como la olla la presión, right? Yo, crank the heat.
I think you're right, porque eso es como decían los abuelos de uno,
Yeah.
mente vaga,
Mhm.
edificio del diablo.
Listen,
There you go.
Okay.
translate that, Josh.
All right. So he said, wait, say it again.
No,
no, no,
Let him translate it. Bro, he's gonna pull out Google Translator. He has it under the table.
Go, Rob. Go, Rob.
Mente vaga,
Okay, lazy.
edificio del diablo.
Okay, so lazy. Well,
Lazy.
a lazy mind.
Uh-huh.
All right. So a lazy mind is like the place of the devil.
That's it.
There you go.
That's it. And that's true. And it's true. That is an old saying, actually.
So I'm gonna tell, and I told my clients this.
I know Spanish.
No.
Trust me, it takes me a while,
It's-
but I do.
no, it's like because you have people like for me at least I have people that go like back and forth. They speak Spanglish or English or Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
If you start speaking to me in Spanish
All the time.
enough, then I'm like,
Me
okay,
too.
boom, we're speaking Spanish.
Right.
If we're speaking English, then obviously I'm good.
Right.
My English is not very good looking.
Very good look. Your
Yeah, right.
Spanish not very good
But,
looking.
exactly. But then like if we go back and forth,
Uh-huh.
it takes my mind too long to go back and forth. Obviously, I proved it now.
Okay.
It's on
Clearly.
video.
Yeah.
Clearly.
No. I mean, yeah, it is. Now it's recorded. You know,
Yeah.
it's for the record. Joshua
It
knows
takes-
Spanish.
but it takes a second to process.
That's fine.
The process is a little slow.
That's fine. That's fine.
You on Windows
but
9?
no, it's-
You on
it's the
Windows
water.
9.5 right now?
It's the water, man.
Guys, but yeah, back to pressure. Just so like we're gonna wrap up soon, but so good. I think I would say you need pressure. I know I asked you guys and you guys said no, not necessarily, but I disagree with you guys. Like I think to be truly successful, I think there has to be some level or some type of pressure, whether that be internal, whether that be external. Like you see a lot of athletes, like
But
like
pressure's healthy.
Right. But that's my point. You see the Williams sisters, right?
Mhm.
And a lot of people talk about like they talk bad about
Mhm.
their father, right?
I think some do.
King Richard, right?
Yeah.
Well, some people critique him a lot,
Yeah.
right? Like he gets a lot of criticism because and a lot of and if you go to like Jelly, you're in the age now where your kids are playing like youth sports, right? You see some parents are more
Demanding on the
active and
kids, yep.
demanding.
And others are more like laissez-faire.
Right. But
Yeah.
then for the most part, what kids tend to be more like better.
The ones that are
The
being
ones
pushed,
that are
yeah.
kind of pushed
Right.
and given that pressure.
Because
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
bro, the day they invented participation trophies, bro, any league my kids go to, that's I'm not putting my kids in no participation
Not
trophy
interested,
league,
not
bro.
interested.
Because
Well, what about
I
those
feel
leagues
like
that
you
don't keep
need
score.
Right? Oh, please.
Damn,
Like,
I don't
bro.
care what
okay.
age, I don't care what age you are.
bro,
you
I-
keep
yeah.
score.
Trust me, I
Yeah.
cried every game I lost when I played.
Oh, bro, I used to. It was very
'Cause
emotional.
it was like I was
Yeah.
very
Right.
competitive. So
but
don't cry,
I
don't
believe
cry.
that
It's about having fun.
healthy pressure, because then there's a line of
Yeah.
okay, you're crossing abuse.
Now you're
right?
being
Like
abusive,
that's a different story. But you need to feel pressure. You need to say, okay, I could do better. I should be doing better, because a lot of times it's human nature. It's very easy to slack. It's very easy to take, to take a step back. If you do your job and you do your job well, there's a lot of jobs in any industry where like you just really got to show up. Like, let's say you're a security guard overnight at a place, and for the most part,
Well,
bro,
bro,
like
they got
90
the highest pressure job there.
But no, hold on.
They gotta take care of the building.
No, but
That's a lot of pressure.
Well, all right, so let's say this. Think about most movies, and think about like right before like a heist, like somebody said, and it's at night. What is the security guard typically doing? They're sitting in the table, they're reading a newspaper, or they're dozing off,
They're knocked
and the
out.
camera is like, and the people are sneaking by. Why? Because like for the most part,
Yeah.
that person is not receiving pressure. The only pressure for him is show up and then clock in and clock out. You got to be there. But
Be the body.
but what
Be
if
the body,
what
that's
if that environment was more pressure driven? Like even if it was
Providing incentives in terms
No,
of
no.
whatever.
Oh,
like,
oh, no,
how
I'm
many?
but I'm gonna
How
put
many-
it even better. I'm gonna put
how
it
many
even
thieves
You
you
could
gonna
attest
stop?
to this. You could attest to this. In our industry, right, there are health plans that are really big on compliance, and they have secret shoppers, and they do
Yes, sir.
auditing, and every month you got to do an auditing. And then there are other places that don't do it.
Correct.
Which reps, for the most part, are more like on their A game and more driven to succeed than others. And you know this.
The
So-
ones without a compliance team?
No,
Yeah,
shut up.
yeah, believe it.
Because they're everybody that walks up to that table, they don't know if it's a secret shopper, because I could sit at a table and
You're on
not
your
expect
toes
anybody.
the whole time. You're on your toes the whole time.
So you're on your toes. That's a level
You're
of
alert.
pressure.
You're alert.
It's a level of pressure that I believe it's healthy pressure, right? And it makes you, it's not like micromanagement or anything like that. It's like, I think everybody who wants to, like, if that security guard wants to keep their job, then they're gonna excel under that pressure. They're gonna be like, okay, no, I know I gotta be alert. Every 10 minutes, I gotta check the screen. Every 5 minutes, I gotta make a round.
Yeah, it's structured. So, you know what's funny that you mentioned this, because it's gonna take me to an athlete that you guys love for the most part. There's a sport that I don't consider it being a sport, but you guys love.
I swear to God, if you
Come
say
on.
baseball, bro, if you say baseball,
But yeah, I mean, I wasn't a big fan of this dude, bro.
A-Rod?
Yeah,
A-Rod's the fucking
I
man,
mean,
bro.
his story. I was listening to the podcast, and the way that he was speaking about his story, how his dad was his idol, he left or whatever. But then he had three great mentors. But his greatest mentor was the one that actually told him, next year you're gonna be good.
Oh, his high school coach.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The following year you're gonna make the US Olympics.
Right.
And on your senior year, you're gonna get drafted.
Right.
And I guess that level of pressure but he didn't. I guess the coach was such a
He
great
created a
mentor to
pathway
him.
for That's what it was,
He
too.
didn't
Mentally.
put it in a pressure way. He was just more like motivating
But
him
now-
and speaking it
That's-
to
no,
him
so
in
think
such
about it
a
this point.
great
Do you think
way.
he felt pressure to then
to meet those
to meet
objectives?
those? Because let's say somebody trusts you, like, yo, Jay. If I be like, yo, Jay, I trust that you're gonna do this. You probably, if you think it's coming from a genuine place, you probably don't want to let me down. So like the moments of like weakness where you're alone and nobody's looking, and you're like, nah, you know what? Yo, Ray believes that I'm gonna do it, or your wife believes, or your child
Yeah.
believes that I'm gonna do this. So
That's where I'm getting to. So I feel like he had that internal pressure to be the best version of himself that pushed him to be greater, right? And but
train harder.
like
all
he
that.
train harder and everything else. So just getting back to that, I think that pressure is great, bro. No matter what, of course, like depends on how
if we have money,
place it.
we'd play the song.
And you know
Under
what?
pressure
You know what's crazy?
to pay the rents.
You know what's crazy?
Well, you can sing it.
You as a human being, you know what time it is. Like when your instincts are telling you, yo,
Yeah, it's 4:16.
yeah. So when your instincts are telling you, yo, you got to get up. You got to
Yeah.
do this.
when you don't even want to.
when you don't want to.
And
That's when you know.
You got
like,
in last
you
night
know,
at 3 a.m. and then you got to get out 4:15.
Because sometimes I'm myself, I'm like doing something. I'm like, yo, I could do this better. Or I could do that better.
Yeah.
And like sometimes, can I take the lazy route? 1,000% I
Yeah.
can take the lazy route. But what route am I going to take? I'm going
Right.
to push myself. So
So you're telling me not to eat a donut when I get home?
you shouldn't.
Yo, so final thoughts. Soup, we're starting with you, bro.
Harvey Specter over here.
I think so like we talked about, when it comes to pressure is healthy for the most part. And in order for you to succeed under pressure, at least for me, like staying organized, amateur,
My bad.
is
It's good. At least it looks like we're
is
busy.
important, right? So staying organized, like when with your tasks and while you're under pressure, I think is, at least for me, vital to the success. But yeah, I think it's good. I welcome it.
So healthy pressure is good pressure.
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
keyword being there, healthy pressure.
healthy pressure, right?
Yo,
Not all
Jay.
pressure is healthy.
Yeah.
You know I'm going with this one, bro. Pressure all the way. I think pressure is from the beginning of birth all the way to death. You know, I think that there is nothing in life that you're gonna get accomplished if you're not being pushed, and that push has to become
Right.
from.
Oh, I changed
from the
your
right place.
minds then, bro.
Oh yeah, Lord.
Yeah, because you guys did not say that at the beginning.
What are you
Oh,
talking
God.
about? My name is Diamond. Because I was made under pressure,
Jay,
baby.
he went from J Dollar to
Jay Diamond.
Jay Diamond, but that sounds like a stripper, bro. Like
Yo, for
Josh
real.
is right.
Nah, bro.
Yo, where you dance tonight, bro?
Yo, cut that, bro. This guy over here.
All right, so final thoughts.
Yo, Jelly.
I mean, I like pressure. I push myself as much as I can. I know what not to get into and what noise to phase away, because sometimes there's some noise that can kind of take you away from what you're trying to achieve. And making sure that there's like a set objective that I need to get to, and just pushing forward to that. You know,
Yeah,
Not falling short.
I'll echo what everybody said. I think learning what to do with pressure is very important. Pressure is going to come whether you want it to come or not, right? Now, you could choose not to take the pressure, right? That doesn't mean that pressure is not coming your way.
Yep.
But really understanding how to deal with pressure, right? How to handle pressure, I think, is what's going to make you successful. Pressure could make you successful, but it could also make you crumble, right? It could also make you crack, right? It could also bust your pipes, like Josh said, right? But learning what to do with pressure. And there's a lot of articles out there. There's a lot of books that tell you how to handle pressure, like, you know, different tips. I think everybody handles it differently. But if you're prepared to handle pressure, you're going to be prepared to succeed.
Yes, sir.
It's a wrap.
It's
Yeah,
a
we
wrap,
out.
guys.
Now, you can take the suit off now.
Yo, it's a wrap, brother. We in the street.
Yo, don't come next week with a suit, bro.